everyone. My name is Mehmet, working as an associate professor in Yale University of Turkey, and my colleague Aysu Uğurlar. She's also working as an associate professor in Yale University of Turkey. We are working together in my background is human geography. Her background is urban and regional planning, and we have both projects running in the region. So today I'm going to present our study topic on the socio-cultural integration in the development of proper mountain tourism, a lesson from Eastern Turkey, which is already already know. Recently published in a collected book of the proper tourism research in mountainous areas. Basically, our chapter number is 8, and our study focus on the issues of the socio-cultural integration and its impact on the development of proper mountain tourism. Let me move on. First of all, I would like to show you our research area, which is simply eastern part of Turkey, in which there is a lake called Lake Van. This region has high altitudes and sharp winter condition, and so far, indeed, in the first part of our chapter, we made a historical assessment of the Kyrgyz community's tourism potential in the context of the mountain environments. And so let's move on. This study focused on the issues of the socio-cultural integration and its impact on the development of the proper mountain tourism, primarily on a community striving for the recognition and inclusion in the poverty reduction efforts within mountainous areas, specifically the Ulupamir Kyrgyz village of the Van, Turkey. This study therefore aims to explore the experience of the adaptive communities in tourism, which can be considered as a proper tourism in the context of the mountain environment. So, before going to our methodology, why we have selected this area and this community, not least because Kyrgyz are a community striving for the recognition and inclusion in this region. This study therefore aims to explore the experience of the adaptive communities in tourism, which can be considered as a proper tourism in the context of the mountain environments. Therefore, it's worth mentioning here that while many studies in the literature focus on the role of the proper tourism in the alleviating the poverty and inequality, our study provides a critical insight into the socio-cultural integration of the international communities in Turkey with proper tourism. So basically, our research adopts a qualitative approach to capture the complexities of the community's lived experience and tourism's impact. This study area, as I said, Ulupamir Kyrgyz village, home to a nomadic community with a rich cultural heritage. In data collection methods, we use ethnographic observations, semi-structural interviews, and visual documentation. In context, as many studies explain, talked about the proper tourism, I am not going to talk about in depth, but basically, given that proper tourism focus on the enhancing the linkages between tourism business and local people to increase the economic and social benefits that can bring the underprivileged areas. In our study, the Kyrgyz community faces significant challenges adapting to harsh winter and limited winter conditions and limited flatlands, restricting their traditional livelihoods like horsemanship and agriculture. Therefore, tourism provides opportunities to organize them to their festival, develop cultural capital, and reconnect with their heritage despite environmental limitations. Additionally, Kyrgyz community has long tradition in keeping horses and livestock in their homeland, basically Central Asia. But when they move into Turkey, in the adaptation process, in the early stage of the adaptation process, the Kyrgyz community faces significant challenges. adapting to harsh winter conditions, limited flatlands, restricting their traditional livelihoods like horsemanship and agriculture. However, to reduce the poverty, they the phase basically they adopted three different stages to become successful in their adaptive new life in the Lake One mountainous area. The first one is the development of the cultural capital, which allows the villagers to develop their cultural capital, basically organizing festivals and practicing their cultural habits, so on. The second is to combat with the environmental challenges such as climate conditions and mountainous environments, which basically disentangle their socio-cultural activities. The third is adaptation to the new area and develop new emotions to socio-cultural communities, by the way, because the eastern part of the Turkey basically mostly dominated by the Kurdish community. Therefore, when they came to this area as part of the Turkish culture, they have some difficulties also. Let's move on to benefit of the port tourism. As we know, port tourism some benefits for the local communities, and of course, the first one is the economic benefits. Economic benefits, basically the sustainability of the local cultural assets, such as the festivals, wedding ceremonies, and traditional crafts, is because the key concern. When see some the pictures at the Belavot Ayur presentation, Kyrgyz communities have some difference, the daily different daily cultures, and their wearing styles different, and their basically they have some different camps, etc. Their food culture is different, they have some their own culinary traditions. So non-economic benefits also important for the proper tourism. Tourism offers potential solution for providing an avenue to uphold and share these traditions with wider communities. In this manner, because we benefit this, particularly the local community benefit, mostly benefit this perspective to integrate into the local community. As I said, they when came to here, they were basically found themselves in the middle of the Kurdish community. And it was really, the challenging for them to easily adapt to the local community. Therefore, this sharing this tradition and integrated into tourism and sharing their local culture and daily habits, etc., they find the opportunity to share them with the wider communities. It is also important for the sustainability perspective, balancing economic development with the environmental conservation and cultural preservations. As in, the many studies already, the presented here, many people just concerned about the tourism's because tourism is basically consumption culture. Because of that reason, we are really facing many environmental problems when the tourism came to the region. And in this manner, in the local community, when they are balancing these things and keeping, the preserving the environment and cultural conservation, and balancing these two things with the tourism is also the important. So far, they have achieved it as far as I would say, but in future, nobody knows. Let's move another. Of course, maybe one of the important things as a output of the proper tourism are involvement, participation, and capacity development. In this manner, I would like to first of all focus on the capacity development because it is very important for the local community. The process of enhancing abilities, skills, resources, structure of individuals, organizations, and communities to achieve their goals effectively and sustainably. It involves creating, strengthening the systems, policies, competencies needed to tackle the challenges, perform functions, and produce desired outcomes over the time. For example, in this manner, community gets some support from the regional development agency, and then they integrated with some local governance, and thanks to that, they initiated some local entrepreneurship, and they opened some local entrepreneurship tourism establishment called Atayurt, in English, basically the motherland, because which is basically the replication of their former culture, their heritage. So basically, when the people just visited this kind of the areas, they can basically experience how do they live in their historical life, and in their motherland. Therefore, it is called in Turkish Atayurt, but in English it's called the motherlands. So basically, in this area, they are also offering their local foods, which them is very interesting. In Turkish, we're saying basically it is milk of the horse. It is very unusual thing to drink, I do know, but it is very, it is very high protein drink, and therefore it is very famous amongst the Kyrgyz community. It's called the kumis. Basically, it's fermented mare's milk, and so they also, showing their handmade textiles, and they are practicing their cultural performance and allowing people to, experience the horse, some kind of the things. So basically, this kind of the things is offering in this area, which is basically also the important, because when the Turks came to Anatolia in the early 1071, they give a battlefield, which is called the it's a plain. It's Malazgirt plain. I'm sorry, I couldn't remember its name. Now it is every year Turks, all the different part of the Turkey people coming to area to celebrate this event, and then therefore it is also the advantage for them, because it is just the very near close proximity to where the Kyrgyz community live, and their handcraft, their another stuff's very helpful to produce some showcase in these festivals. Therefore, this also created some the involvement and participation for them. So of course, end of the day, also they gained some cultural and national awareness. Eventually, they met with the tourism to achieve social-cultural integration and complete the adaptation process in the Kurdish community, as I said, which is the dominant social-cultural group in the eastern part of Turkey. In this sense, cultural access to touristic initiatives and skills transferability help them to allow to foster this process as part of the proper tourism. Of course, everything is not going, well, and there are some challenges, including social-cultural issues and some basically the conservatism. First of all, there are several social structural issues relevant to tourism development process, particularly the conservatism. In this manner, the senior Kyrgyz members were predominantly led the community, because there is some kind within the village. Also, it is officially managed by the local elected governor. We will say in Turkish, we say basically, but it's a chief, like it's a primitive community, but it is locally elected with the official election. We in Turkey we say muhtar, the leader of the village. But alongside this leader, also there are some cultural leaders. They are senior Kyrgyz members who predominantly lead to the community, provide guidance to the younger generation. But consequently, apart from the routine sporting and cultural activities, the locals are hesitant to endorse the establishment of the tourist facilities within the village. Basically, this is resulting in the limited host tourist interactions. Because of that reason, we will say, for instance, the motherland tourism initiative move out from the village. Now it is somewhere is just in the main road, just outside of the village. But when the people is luckily when the people visiting this area, they are also wondering their village, where they live, and their daily life, and how do the practice their culture, and then they are finding the village easily after that. This is also, it is important, it's important for the marketing and the advantage for the development of the tourism, of course. Secondly, all the hydro energy center threatens the natural environment. For instance, the villagers remain silent, likely seeing it as a symbol of the state authority. Many hold government position, leading them to avoid the conflicts with the state. And the final, in the previous slide, you will see there are some women already involving in some projects, and the handcrafts is in Turkish. We are saying the local carpets. It is very the handmade really requires really huge the efforts. But the women in the village often occupy low wage and or unpaid roles in tourism, highlighting the persistent gender disparities in economic participation. In conclusion, we will say such integration also facilitates their communication, both local Turkish and the Kurdish communities. In this manner, this chapter provides a set of practical and theoretical implication for improvements. We will definitely say proper tourism in Ulupamir Kyrgyz village has proven to be a promising mechanism for fostering cultural preservation, economic resilience, and social integration. However, also, this chapter points out the second and third generation deserve the better living condition and opportunities that big cities offers. This study therefore shows that the skills and knowledge are among the most important assets that help mountain communities create a culture-based tourism facility. As I said again, I would like to again, because it is really our chapter message. Such integration also, to facilitate their communication, both local Turkish and Kurdish communities. Also, this study highlights the dual potential and challenges of the tourism in addressing poverty and promoting socio-cultural integration in marginalized groups. Sustainable and inclusive strategies can transform tourism into a powerful tool for community development. So, as I said, closing notes. Thank you very much.